Hi, Schlockmeister fans. A re-review from my previous channel, 80s classic, John Carpenter's The Thing. Let's check it out. Our movie takes place in Antarctica in 1982. Here's McCready, played by Snake Plissken himself, Kurt Russell. Well, there's a disturbance outside. That's a nearby Norwegian team, also in Antarctica. And a guy went crazy, started to try to shoot a dog. Started to shoot at them, so they shot him in self-defense. So McCready, in a nice hat, and another guy decide to fly over to the Norwegian post to see what the hell's going on. Meanwhile, the dog that the Norwegian guy was chasing is now wandering free. The Norwegian place is a mess. And everybody's dead. Grady finds what appears to be like an ice coffin. And more bodies outside.
What is that? Lungs.
They perform an autopsy on the guy they found outside.
Intestines. Seem to be normal.
Meanwhile, the dog has been kennelled up with the other dogs, and that seems to have metamorphosized into some other creature and has absorbed all the other dogs.
See, what we're talking about here is an organism that imitates other life forms, and it imitates them perfectly. When this thing attacked our dogs, it tried to digest them.
Well, they go back out and do a little more searching, and they come across something else they didn't expect. Looks like a spaceship. This guy's looking for Bennings. Finds a lot of blood in his cabin there. And that. Blair, Wilford Brimley's character, is apparently going nuts. They're eventually able to subdue him.
Watch Clark and watch him close. Do you hear me?
And they lock him up outside.
Up till spring, wait for the rescue team. No, we don't wait. Somebody in this camp ain't what he appears to be. Right now, that may be one or two of us. By spring, it could be all of us. You were all these things, and you just attack me right now. So some of you are still human. This thing doesn't want to show itself. It wants to hide inside an imitation.
It ain't puke. I'm not gonna harm anybody, and there's nothing wrong with me. And if there was, I'm all better now. I'd like to come back inside. Now you got my promise.
There's increased paranoia throughout everybody.
I'm a real light sleeper, child. Clear.
So McGreedy's got everybody tied up, and they're going to blood test everybody to see who's human and who isn't.
This is pure nonsense. Doesn't prove a thing.
I thought you'd feel that way, Gary. You were the only one that could have got to that blood. We'll do you last.
I know you gentlemen have been through a lot. But when you find the time, I'd rather not spend the rest of this winter tied to this fucking couch!
I go back outside to check on Blair, and he's gone.
How did he get out? The door was bolted from the outside.
They find a cavern
Blair's been busy out here all by himself.
underneath. So it seems Blair was building some sort of ship. Ship no more. Our survivors are now blowing up everything. They find Blair, or Blair finds them.
Fuck you too!
Got the temperature up all
McGreedy and Childs realize they're the last two survivors and they're probably going to freeze to death.
Won't last long.
Neither will we.
Alright, let's talk about The Thing, an 80s movie, 80s horror movie, considered a classic now. Don't think the critics were all that kind to it back in the day, but this has grown on a lot of people over the years, including myself. I didn't dislike it back when I was a little kid, seeing it for the first time. I've always liked it, but I think I like it more and more. It was there's some really good special effects in this, for one thing, and it's just a cool story. It is a remake of a 1950s horror movie, which I think was called The Thing from Another World. I think that's what it's called. Actually, I think I have that movie. I'm not sure, but it takes place in Antarctica. There's an explorer, or there's some scientists down there doing their thing, and they get a run-in with this Norwegian crew that's a couple miles away, also doing their thing down in Antarctica. A dog comes up, and then there's some Norwegian guy chasing the dog, trying to shoot it and kill it. The guy seems crazy, so they end up shooting the guy. The Americans shoot the guy, and they keep the dog. They kennel it up with their other dogs. They go to check the Norwegians' camp, find everybody dead, and there's some bodies there, and they're like misshapen and stretched, and it's a weird mess. Later on, they actually find what appears to be a spaceship embedded in the snow there as well, which they estimate has been there for 100,000 years. They take the body back, they examine it, and then the dog that's in the kennel starts to metamorphosize. It turns into some sort of weird creature. It seems to absorb all the other dogs in there as well. They end up torching the thing. Ultimately, we find out that there is a creature, an entity of some sort called a thing, which can go from body to body and inhabit somebody. So, and then it turns into, it basically can imitate any life that it sees. It can imitate a dog. It can imitate a person. So the Americans here, they get a little paranoid. They're wondering, are we all human, or is there some non-humans among us? McGreedy, Kurt Russell's character, kind of takes charge. Eventually they tie everybody up, and he wants to do a blood test on everybody to see if it reacts to whatever test they have set up. They do that, and of course it outs one of the other people who's tied up in the chair. And to make a long story short, they end up blowing up everything in the place, and ultimately we have two survivors left, which is McGreedy and Childs, played by Keith David, Or is it David Keith? I always get them confused. I think it's Keith David. Can I confirm that? Nope, I can't, but whatever. So anyway, they blow up everything in their base there, and then they're outside, drinking, and they're like, what's going to happen now? I don't think we're going to survive this, which they're not. Wilford Brimley's character, Blair, had destroyed all of their equipment earlier in the film, so they have no way to contact anybody. They're going to be stuck there until spring, and they've just blown up everything. They're probably going to freeze to death, and that's how our movie ends. Of course, whatever entity was left, the Thing is left, is probably going to freeze also, so there you go. That is The Thing. Now, again, I really like this movie. It has some really cool special effects, like the way the creature comes out of the person's body. It's like at one point, it's like just a head on this pole, almost like this neck structure with fangs. And then there's one time this severed head sprouts spider legs and crawls around. It's pretty cool, actually. It's all in all, it's a pretty good movie. It has a nice, good vibe to it, too. You get that isolation feel to this. And as with other John Carpenter movies, especially from that era, it's got that kind of slow pounding soundtrack, which I really like, too. Very similar to Escape from New York. So anyway, that is The Thing. Now, this is the Blu-ray for it. I also have it on DVD. This has a lot of extras on it, interviews and such. Also, I believe this is getting, or is about to get released, or maybe it is released now. There is a 4K version of this as well, which made a lot of these Thing Blu-rays more readily available and cheaper on eBay if you're interested. So anyway, I do not have the 4K. I'm satisfied with this Blu-ray. It's a pretty darn good Blu-ray too, so lots of good stuff there. So anyway, check it out. It's The Thing. I'm sure you've all seen it, so you tell me what you like about The Thing and leave some comments. I will leave a link if you're looking to buy this from Amazon. And if you don't have this one, you should have this in your collection because it's definitely a horror classic to have. Check it out. Leave some comments. Watch it. Bye. Watch it again, I should say.